During the 2022 Brazilian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen slighted his teammate Sergio Perez and refused to let him get ahead. This caused many to tag Verstappen as immature and selfish, but the Dutchman must have had his reasons to go against the team. What was the reason behind Verstappen's actions? Sergio Perez moved to the Red Bull team in 2021 to replace Alex Albon, who had been demoted to the role of a reserve and test driver at the end of the 2020 season, and he became Max Verstappen's partner. Max, who made his debut in Formula 1 with Red Bull's sister team Toro Rosso in 2015, and joined the team in 2016, was already a solid team member. So when Perez joined him, he knew many of the team's decisions would be centered around Verstappen's needs as he was the star racer. Perez didn't mind that fact and was eager to join such a prestigious team. Perez's first year with Red Bull was impressive as he got several podium finishes, which boosted his team's point. But the highlight of Sergio's performance in the season was when he assisted Verstappen in beating Lewis Hamilton in the 2021 World Championship title. In the 2020 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Sergio saw that Lewis Hamilton and his teammate were head-to-head for the title, and whoever won that race would wear the crown. So, without being asked, he began to work against Hamilton, and it helped his teammate close a 7-second gap that led to his win. Verstappen and his fellow team members were surprised by his selfless act. After the race, Verstappen called what Sergio Perez rarely did and said he wished their relationship could remain the same. It's very rare to have a teammate like that. He was a real team player, and I really hope we can continue this for a long time." End quote. Despite saying such words and being grateful in 2021, Verstappen forgot the saying, "One good turn deserves another," and in the next season, he disappointed his teammate. In the 2022 Brazilian Grand Prix, the Red Bull team didn't perform so well, mostly due to several bad decisions made by Max Verstappen. The first was the deliberate collision with Lewis Hamilton. Max had been running behind Hamilton in third place. He had tried to get ahead of Hamilton despite not having enough room. That decision led to the rival drivers colliding. Verstappen's vehicle had suffered more damage as he damaged his front wing, while Hamilton's vehicle only suffered damage to its floor and wheel covers. Because he was found guilty of initiating the collision, he got punished. Despite his attempt at sabotaging Lewis Hamilton, the race was good for the Mercedes team as they got their only win and 1-2 position in that race. Max's second bad decision came right after his punishment. Despite the 5-second delay, which was Verstappen's punishment, he was able to regain his footing and was in the 6th position. As he was racing ahead, he received a message on his radio telling him to allow his teammate, Sergio, who was right behind him in the 7th position, to go through for him to earn more points. It's important to know that this request was made since Max didn't really need the points as he had already been announced the season's world champion, so it won't hurt him to make way for Sergio. Sergio and Charles Leclerc of Ferrari had been tied in points for second place, and the Red Bull team wanted a 1-2 win, so they urged Max to allow Sergio through. To the surprise of many, Verstappen refused to allow Sergio through, and the pleas from his team members fell on deaf ears. He had said, quote, "I told you already last time, you guys don't ask that again of me, okay? Are we clear about that? I gave my reasons and I stand by it." End quote. Everyone was disappointed in the Dutch driver because it would have cost him nothing to let his teammate through, but his pettiness had gotten the better of him. The team principal nor any top officials of the team did not say anything concerning the issue, but one F1 commentator described Verstappen's behavior in detail. The F1 commentator, Billy Buxton, described the occurrence as shameful and sad, and said that Verstappen was not a complete racer yet, and still had much to learn. He said, quote, "His refusal to help them in their desire yesterday showed petulance and a sad and selfish short-sighted spitefulness. He's not a complete racer yet, nor the talisman they need. Much to learn, and while Max is every bit deserving of being a 2-time champion, he showed that he has much to learn about what it is to be a team leader. For everything Checo has done to help his cause, today's result means nothing to Max in the wider view. Disrespected his teammate and his team." End quote. When Sergio got wind of what occurred during the race, he was infuriated. He said he couldn't understand why Max had refused to let him get ahead and that the behavior Max portrayed showed who he truly was. Quote, "It shows who he really is. I don't understand why he didn't give me the position, even with everything I have done for him. If he has 2 titles, it's because of my help." End quote. Verstappen didn't mind that fans were chastising him because of the decision he made, and in an interview following the occurrence before the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, he said, "If we go to Abu Dhabi and he needs the points because they're tied, it's not the end of the world. It's all about who finishes ahead anyway. If he needs help, I'll be there." That decision by Verstappen has changed the relationship between the two drivers forever. Despite the statement from the team advisor Helmut Marko, who said the issues between the two drivers has been resolved, one cannot say for a fact. That's because a few weeks later, when the news that Ricciardo would be joining the Red Bull team came to light, many fans couldn't help but speculate that Verstappen, who had the team wound around his finger, would ask for Sergio Perez to get the boot. But the team principal, Christian Horner, came to debunk the claims in a statement he made about Ricciardo joining the team as a reserve driver. He said the duo had achieved incredible things together, and their agreement with Perez, or Checo, was clear, so people did not need to assume he would get kicked out, saying, quote, "We have a contract with Checo for the next 2 years. What the partnership of Max and Checo has produced for us, 5 1-2 finishes so far this year, the Constructors' Championship that we hadn't won for 5 years, is a phenomenal achievement. And obviously the combination of both drivers' points contributions. The two have a good relationship, they've raced well for the team, and we've no reason to see that being any different for the duration of their contractual commitment to the team thereafter." End quote. If the relationship was as good as Horner claimed, then why did Verstappen do what he did and say, "I've told you my reasons and I stand by it"? To the best of our knowledge, it all started at the 2022 Monaco Grand Prix. While qualifying in Monaco, Sergio Perez crashed, preventing Verstappen from getting a pole position at the next race. Sergio had gotten an edge due to the crash, and he emerged as the race winner the next day. In later interviews, Sergio revealed that he had crashed intentionally in Monaco to ensure he had the edge over Verstappen. On hearing this, Verstappen got infuriated. Jos Verstappen, his father, was angry about it and accused the team of favoring Sergio over his son. That accusation was absolutely ridiculous because Max went ahead to win a major part of the season's races, and Sergio Perez just tailed behind him. Although Max has not confirmed that the reason he was talking about was the Monaco incident, it clearly showed that he was bitter about the stunt Sergio had pulled on him, and might have considered it good revenge to refuse to allow him to pass during the Brazilian Grand Prix. Verstappen's decision might come back to bite him in subsequent seasons, as he might also need the help of his teammate. But with what he did at the Brazilian Grand Prix, Sergio might not be quick to offer his help. Well, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Kindly like, share, and subscribe. Also, do not hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments section below, as they are quite valuable to us. Thank you very much. See you next time.